Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Unwoke Thoughts. We got a big show today. Yes, we got a big show. We got lots to talk about. Fani Willis is back, baby. Yes, Fani Willis is back. I haven't talked about Fani for a while. The biggest Fani in Georgia. Yes, I haven't talked about her in it's been like months and months and months. I remember making these thumbnails. Fani Willis. I had some old pictures of Fani Willis that I was able to use in this thumbnail and an old picture of Scott McAfee. But she's back. The most prolific DA in Georgia. The most famous, the biggest Fani in Georgia, in fact. Yes, she is back. But not good news for her. Judge Scott McAfee, yes, that one, has dealt another huge blow to Fani Willis's RICO case against Donald Trump after he dismissed 3 more charges, and he found that Fani Willis had no authority to bring those charges. So at this point, it looks like Fani Willis's case against Trump is quite literally on life support. It's hanging on by a thread. It's barely even there. Fani Willis, she's been having some problems. She's still with Nathan Wade, she's always been with Nathan Wade, even though she says she wasn't. Her pregnant daughter got arrested on the side of the road for, what was it? No, that's what it was. Her pregnant daughter was on the phone, got pulled over, and then got arrested for not having registration or something along those lines. And then a body cam came out of Fani Willis showing up on the side of the road with her boyfriend, Nathan Wade. Yeah, we talked about that a while ago. And now she's getting more bad news from Judge Scott McAfee. So it's not looking good for Fani Willis. We all knew most of these cases they're just speed bumps. They were just trying to suck up Donald Trump's time and resources before the election. Everyone knew this. But it's still nice to see the show. It's still nice to see them slowly fall apart, right? Another thing we're going to talk about, guys, is Matt Walsh's new film called Am I a Racist? Yes, we all have to ask ourselves that these days. It's very important to look into your inner self and ponder, am I a racist? But this movie comes out today in theaters. Many of you probably know Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, and he is also the one who made the film What is a Woman? But with this new film, he explores the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion movement. And he goes undercover as a woke journalist and interviews some prolific thinkers in the racial justice movement. Yes, prolific thinkers. These people, they have thought so much, their brains have essentially fallen out. It appears, at least. Because some of the ways of thinking, you guys have to watch some of this stuff. Some of their ways, some of the stuff they think about, they talk about, are truly shocking. But we'll check out a couple trailers, or a trailer, as well as a couple other sneak peeks I was able to find on the internet. Rumors are being spread on Twitter about a supposed whistleblower who might come forward who has evidence that the debate was rigged against Donald Trump from the start. Are these rumors true? Where do they come from? I don't know. We'll look at it. A former Clinton advisor calls on ABC to launch internal probe into whether the debate was rigged. Yes. Was the debate rigged? I think it kind of was. Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal says that a new report into Trump's assassination attempt will leave Americans shocked, astonished, and appalled. And he said this after Senate members met with acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe for a closed-door meeting. So I wonder what is in that report. We don't have it yet, but it sounds like something I'm looking forward to seeing. Mike Lindell is being sued by a shipping and logistics company who says that he owes them nearly $1 million. Donald Trump announced that he is starting a crypto coin. Yes. KJP, Karine Jean-Pierre, says that Trump's comments about Haitians eating cats is hate speech. Oh, no. Of all things we shouldn't engage in, it's hate speech. Oh. Guys, Donald Trump, he committed the capital crime of hate speech. Very sad. But Trump responded by posting more cat memes on his True Social account. So we're going to look at those cat memes, and they're pretty sweet. Donald Trump announces that he will not do a third debate, and I agree that he shouldn't unless certain conditions are met. And finally, an 18-wheeler carrying a military tank gets stuck on some train tracks and gets hit by a train. Crazy. But before we get into the show, leave a like on this video and also comment down below. Let me know what you think of the show. And if you enjoy the show, consider subscribing. But before we get into the show, for real this time, go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code UNWOKE for some insane deals. Yes, up to 80% off. And right now on MyPillow, guys, look at the deal. You get this deal with my promo code. A $14.98 pillow. $15 pillow. Are you kidding me? Man, you know, Mike Lindell, he's being sued right now. So I think he deserves all our support. Go grab an extra pillow. Go grab some coffee, guys. I'm drinking my coffee from MyPillow. I switched my coffee cup, if you can see. I like this one better. But the coffee is great, guys. I have it right here just to show you guys. That's how much I love this coffee. Specialty coffee, organic, low acidity, non-GMO. Are you kidding me? All the good stuff. So grab some high quality coffee, guys, from MyPillow.com. Use promo code UNWOKE. But, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Georgia judge tosses 3 more charges in Trump election interference case. Check this out. A judge in Atlanta, this is Judge Scott McAfee. He threw out 3 charges in Georgia election interference case against Donald Trump and his allies on Thursday, saying the state did not have jurisdiction to bring them. The decision to toss out 3 of the remaining 35 charges was a win for the defendants, who have been trying to chip away at the case. They are also seeking the disqualification of its prosecutor, Big Fani Willis, the Fulton County District Attorney. Willis's office originally brought 41 counts against 19 defendants in August 2023. 4 defendants have since pleaded guilty, and Judge McAfee previously quashed 6 of the charges. Judge McAfee, I mean, many of you guys remember this. This was a shock to, I think, everybody. He rejected the effort to disqualify Fani Willis earlier this year. The defense then appealed, freezing much of the case in the interim because of the ongoing disqualification effort. The rulings on Thursday applied only to 2 defendants who aren't part of that effort. John Eastman, an architect of the plan to deploy fake electors. So I like how, you know, this is how you know New York Times is fake news. They always say, you know, you always see language like this: deploy fake electors. They always treat this stuff. This is like 1984 rewriting of history type stuff. This is how they treat this information, this situation. They treat it so one-sided. They can never just say, you know, the architect of the plan to deploy these alleged fake electors. No, to deploy fake electors. Fake news. I'm sorry. In 7 swing states that Mr. Trump lost, or let's just say allegedly lost, in 2020. And Sean's still one of these electors. Rewriting history in real time, guys. New York Times is crazy. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. with the New York Times and a lot of these formerly prominent media companies. I mean, used to. I mean, I think we all have seen bias in the media our entire lives, but I think it's pretty obvious that it's gotten increasingly bad just the past like 4 years, 4, 5, 6 years. It's gotten way, way, way worse. But the rulings will almost certainly be extended to other defendants when the disqualification question is resolved. As a result, Mr. Trump, who originally faced 13 charges, is now likely to face 8. Trump and his legal team in Georgia have prevailed only once, said Stephen Sadal. This is Trump's lawyer in the Georgia case. This guy is a fantastic lawyer, let me tell you. The guy is smart as a whip. I've heard him argue many times, and he does a fantastic job. Harvey Silvergate, a lawyer for Mr. Eastman, said that, quote, "This is just another step in the gradual dismemberment of an ill-considered indictment." Willis, her office, is appealing Judge McAfee's earlier ruling quashing half a dozen counts. It did not have an immediate comment on Thursday. Mr. Trump and his co-defendants have been trying a wide range of legal tactics to get the case dismissed, either in part or in its entirety. The motion that led to the latest ruling was related to the supremacy clause of the U.S. Constitution, which makes federal law supreme over contrary state laws. The defendants had cited a 1890 case, that's an old case, in which the Supreme Court said a state could not bring a perjury charge spurred by testimony related to a contested congressional election, and their arguments partly persuaded the judge. Judge McAfee threw out a charge of filing false documents, which is related to false claims that were made in a federal lawsuit brought by Mr. Trump challenging the 2020 election results in Georgia. The two other toss counts, criminal attempt to file false documents and conspiracy to file false documents, address the submission of documents to federal officials that claimed a group of pro-Trump fake electors were Georgia's representatives in the Electoral College. 5 states have brought criminal elections cases against Trump allies, though only Georgia has charged Mr. Trump himself. He has also been charged in a parallel federal elections case brought by Jack Smith, a fake special counsel for the Department of Justice. Yes. It doesn't say the fake part in here, guys, but Jack Smith is, in fact, he has no authority. They just stuck him in there. He was just put in that place. He is a random guy. That's just somehow they've given power to bring these indictments against Trump. He has no standing. Even Supreme Court justices have said, like, who is this guy? What is he doing? And you know how much money this guy gets paid for this in these investigations? It's been like, I don't know, like $16 million. This guy has gotten rich off the back of the taxpayers going after Donald Trump. He's a multimillionaire. He gets access to all of this money. I looked it up. This was several months ago. And it's some serious money this guy is getting paid. So if you want to go after Trump, there is money to be made. And I believe he moved halfway across the world to specifically go against or go after Trump. I think he was like in the United Kingdom or something. And then they like called him forth, Jack Smith. And he took on the mantle of going after Donald Trump or whatever. But he's got some weird skeletons in his closet too. Jack Smith. He was the one that kind of on a high level, he caused the IRS to go after all of these conservative companies way back in the day. Remember the Tea Party? He was the one that pressured the IRS to go after the Tea Party. That was a whole big deal with the Department of Justice back then. He was the guy. And then he disappeared for like a decade, however long it's been. And then he reappears and he's going after Trump, trying to put him in prison. Crazy stuff. The Georgia case will not move to trial until next year at the earliest. It was complicated by revelations earlier this year that Miss Willis engaged in a romantic relationship with Nathan Wade. Yeah. A lawyer whom she had hired to manage Trump's prosecution team. So that's all old news, guys. It is, in fact, what she was doing. So good to see that Fani Willis's case is being picked apart even more. Slowly but surely. It's a crumbling pile of trash. But moving on to Matt Walsh's film, Am I Racist, guys? You got to do the inner work. You got to figure out if you're a white person, you have to do. If you're a other, a person of other ethnicity, if you're a black person, or if you're an Asian person, maybe too, right? But if you're a white person specifically, you really have to look deep inside yourself and ponder and really beat yourself up over this question. Are you a racist? Because it's a very important question today. And ultimately, whatever answer you come up with, if you say that you aren't a racist, you are. That's just how this goes. Robin DiAngelo, she wrote that book, White Fragility. And it basically, in a roundabout way, it just says, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a white person, you are, in fact, a racist. Very interesting mindset. Sounds kind of like a dangerous mindset to me. But Matt Walsh, he made a film about this phenomenon, this woke mind virus phenomenon. And I know this might look fake to you, like these are actors. The only actor in this is Matt Walsh. He's the one, he's pretending to be he plays multiple different roles, but one of the biggest ones is he pretends to be like a woke DEI journalist. And these people, they think that they're so smart that I think their brains just fell out of their head because they sound insane. They actually do. This is not a joke. This is the way people actually think. This stuff, this mindset has infiltrated HR organizations and companies, HR departments rather, and it drives a lot of our politics today. And these are some of the most prolific thinkers in the DEI movement that he is interviewing and interacting with. It's not a joke. I know it might look goofy, but this is the trailer for Am I a Racist, guys? Go see it if it's showing in a town near you. It is in some theaters, but make sure you look this up. I'll probably watch it whenever it comes live online somewhere because I don't have it showing in a theater very near me. So, but let's check this out.
Let's be clear, what's happening in this country, it's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Growing up in the 90s, I never thought much about race. Sure, you noticed, but never really seemed to matter that much, at least not to me.
Being a white, straight, cisgender man, it's the top of the pile.
I'm on the top of the pile. That's me. Am I racist?
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Can you please leave?
If I'm going to sort this out, I need to go deeper undercover. If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
What is racism?
Martin Luther King said not to judge people by
Martin Luther King said a lot of stuff.
Is America inherently racist?
What the hell is that?
The word inherent is challenging there. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
They gonna say I'm racist.
Joining us now is Matt, certified DEI expert.
Here's my certification. Where are you guys on your anti-racist journeys? So I'll look around the room and point to who we believe is the most racist person in the room. We want to rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. Would you mind signing it? You will? What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures of racism in society?
They gonna say
What's up with white people? What are you doing to decenter your whiteness?
Who's making it the center? Why are they doing that?
And what you're doing is you're stretching out of your whiteness. This is more for you in this view. White.
Folks,
White.
trash.
White supremacy.
White woman.
White boy.
White.
Entitlement.
White.
Centering.
White.
Silence.
Is there a black person around here?
There's a black person right here. Does he not exist?
they gonna say I'm racist, but they call everybody racist.
Hi, Robin.
Hi. And what's your name?
I'm Matt.
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Nice to meet you.
I just had to ask who you are because you have to be careful.
Never be too careful.
They gonna say you racist.
So that last lady, that's Robin DiAngelo. She's the writer of the book called White Fragility. And I remember, guys, I went to college in Austin, University of Texas, and I had a black friend of mine. And we had always been good friends. And I don't remember what it was about, but we got into a little bit of a debate. And she told me that I should read this book called White Fragility. And I was like, okay. So I believe did I buy it? I might have bought it or downloaded it somehow on my iPad that I had at the time. And I remember reading it. And this was, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 years ago. This was like before Trump. This is before anything Trump. And I remember reading this stuff and I'm like, what the heck is this even talking about? Saying like objectivism is a white supremacist power structure. Concepts like being on time, that is aspects of white identity that's dangerous. I remember reading that. And I talked to her about it. I was like, listen, what is this? Like this makes absolutely no sense. It's basically saying no matter what I think as a white person, I'm a racist guy. And I don't remember how the conversation went after that, but it really was my first introduction, I believe, or one of the first introductions I had to this whole woke mind virus stuff that has since swept the country. And it kind of it bothered me a lot because this was someone that was a friend of mine. And all of a sudden, she got in her head that somehow I was racist towards her. And we had always been really, really good friends. And yeah, I don't know. It was very interesting. But that's what Matt Walsh is exploring in the film. Also, another little tidbit we have from this film, other than the trailer, Matt Walsh, he attends a support group for white people grieving their privilege. Yes, guys, if you are a white person, you have privilege. And you should feel bad about that. You should, just accept the fact that you have privilege. Doesn't matter where your economic position is in the world, you're white and you have privilege automatically. And that's something you should grieve, but watch this.
The white participants in the group feel that there's something in themselves that they have to overcome, when all that's being requested of you is that you be. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? How are
Sorry
you?
about that.
Oh, no problem. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remind me of your name again.
Stephen.
Stephen? Yeah? Okay. Did you want to come up?
Come up?
Yeah. Do you want to come up and share anything?
Sure. What do you want me to share?
Whatever's on your
I
mind.
just want to know that, like, my physical safety and yours and everybody else's here is okay.
Why would your physical safety not be okay? Did I miss something?
I don't feel comfortable.
What? Can you guys catch me up to speed on what's going on here?
You don't need to be caught up. We're going to be silent.
Is it because I said I had 17 black friends? It might have been 15. It depends on how you count them.
I would really appreciate it if you left so that the people who actually want to be here and deserve to be here can get what they need.
I do want to be
Can
here.
you please leave?
I would like it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Come with me.
Well,
Thank you.
I didn't consent to be touched.
I'm not offering to touch you. I'm offering to walk you out. Will you walk with me and I'll answer your questions?
Okay, I'll admit it. My name's not Steven. Maybe you already knew that. My name is Matt Walsh.
We know.
So they all know who that is.
I was here on this journey that I'm just starting, but I see that I'm not wanted.
If you were on your journey, then you would have told us who you were, your real name, but you didn't.
Are you saying I needed a better disguise? Is that what you?
I don't know, maybe. But you can figure that out as you walk out the door.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you so much. I really had a transformative experience myself. And my pronouns are he, him.
I did everything I could to fit in. I opened up. I was raw and emotional. I told them about my black friends. It was no use. They rejected me, and they called the police. My mere presence in the room caused them pain. I'll never be accepted if I look like this. If they know that I'm Matt Walsh, I'll always be an outsider.
I can't wait to see it, guys. I love stuff like that. I love stuff that exposes the absolute insanity of these people. I mean it, guys. These people in this DEI, equity movement, social justice movement, there are thinkers. Yeah, they call it. They're thinkers like Robin DiAngelo. They believe that they are so intellectual. And they write all these concepts, and they pretty much spend their entire lives thinking about concepts and talking to groups. And they never realize that the stuff that they talk about is complete nonsense. Like, it's not reality. It's when you listen to it, it's complete bonkers. I encourage, if you can get a free copy of White Fragility and read it, not for the information that you're going to glean from it, but just from understanding how these people think and the insane stuff that these people talk about seriously. They talk about this stuff seriously. Here's another little clip from this film. An anti-racist educator gives Matt Walsh the devastating news that his 3-year-old daughter might be racist for liking the Disney character Moana.
My daughter's 4 years old. I am an anti-racist educator, quote unquote. She's still watching Disney movies, and she is choosing a white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old daughter is her favorite princess is Moana.
Love it.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
But then I also thought, there's a little bit of cultural appropriation here. She wants to be Moana for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we navigate that? Do I go and buy the Pacific Islander native attire for my white 3-year-old?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But I guess what we might call the Moana problem here is what, on one hand, there's cultural appropriation. On the other hand, there's gravitating towards white characters.
Right.
So it's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
We think every space belongs to us because we live in a white supremacist society.
Is America an inherently racist country?
I think
this stuff is crazy.
The word inherent is challenging there. If we say
fundamentally,
yes. America is racist to its bones. All of the
So inherently.
Yeah.
So you see how this stuff works, guys. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Lose-lose situation. She says that she feels concerned because her daughter gravitates towards white princesses to watch. She likes to watch white princesses. And then Matt Walsh says, well, my daughter likes, her favorite princess is Moana, which is a non-white princess. And this anti-racist educator who thinks she's some, very extremely smart thinker, right? She probably thinks she's a philosopher of sorts. She, in a roundabout way, she is saying that, my daughter likes white princesses, your daughter likes non-white princesses, but both are racist. So how do you not be racist? That's the question. It's kind of similar to the question, what is a woman? No one's able to answer it. If you're a white person and you want to not be racist, sorry, buddy. Sorry, you can't. It's impossible. There's no path that you can navigate to not be racist. Just like there's no answer to the question, what is a woman? You see, there's a trend going on here. Because that's not the point of these things. The point is to perpetuate this idea and to really screw up a society. Because when you start having questions like that, it really messes with people's minds and really messes with the fabric of a society. Because that's the purpose of it. That's like the end game. And we can see it. We can see the results. But we have an article right here about this. The New York Post is writing about Matt Walsh's film. White fragility author. So this was Robin DiAngelo, the older woman with the grayish hair. She slams conservative podcaster Matt Walsh, who duped her into giving black producer reparations in new documentary. White fragility author Robin DiAngelo, slammed well-known conservative podcaster Matt Walsh, who posed as an anti-racist activist, and duped her into giving a black producer reparations in an upcoming flick that she called a Borat-style mockumentary. I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm fine with that. But they're the ones that were essentially mocking themselves. I mean, Matt Walsh was simply asking questions. DiAngelo vowed in a statement on Thursday not to watch the film she argued is, quote, designed to humiliate and discredit anti-racist educators and activists, and address the uncomfortable scene that played out between her and right-wing personality Matt Walsh in the documentary Am I Racist? Walsh, who was 38, went undercover when he sat down with DiAngelo and claimed to be interested in anti-racist sentiments before asking his producer, Ben, who is black, to join them. Walsh, who works at conservative outlet The Daily Wire, convinced her to give Ben some cash in the form of reparations, after Walsh also doled out some of his own dough in the awkward moment. I love this stuff, guys. I mean, I don't love that this idea is so prolific. It's so bad for a culture, but the fact that these people do these things is just insane. I've seen this done before where, they'll be doing these man on the street interviews and they'll ask, I should have looked this one. I saw one recently. He walked up to someone in California, some liberal in California, asked if he believed that black people should be given reparations. And the guy was like all for the idea. And then all of a sudden, the interviewer, his black friend, steps out and says, all right, well, here's a black person right here. Would you like to pay him some money? And it's like an awkward pause when they realize the situation they're in. And some of them actually whip out their wallet and give them money. And it's always the black person will be like, well, what, $5 that pays for a lifetime of, slavery and stuff like that. It's great stuff. But DiAngelo, who is 68, said in her lengthy statement that she was contacted by a group about the documentary in 2023. It was supposed to be named Shades of Justice, about efforts to combat racism in the United States. So this is how they infiltrated these groups. So they have to go undercover. So they have to create a fake name because these people, they won't talk to just anybody. This is all a part of it. They have to keep these things between just their own specific groups because their ideas are so absurd. So in an effort to ensure that their ideas don't get, viewed widely and they don't get infiltrated, their talks and discussions don't get shared, they make sure that no outsiders come in and actually ask them tough questions, ask them questions that are objective and fair and, use reason to weed out the nonsense. So the documentary she was told was going to be called Shades of Justice. She was paid $15,000. Wow. $15K. She later donated to participate, but when she showed up for the interview, a few things felt off, including the ill-fitting wig Matt Walsh had on as a man bun. But she said Matt Walsh seemed earnest about anti-racist work and his questions were not adversarial until things got weird at the end, in which she delved into the cringeworthy reparations scene that left D'Angelo visibly bewildered because at that point, she's confronted. Hey, are you going to put your money where your mouth is? You say that we should have reparations for all these black people. You say that no matter no matter what you think as a white person, you're a racist person. So how about, you show us right now? Do you believe what you say? This is what she said, quote, I was so unsettled by the way Matt manipulated this last scene that I emailed the contact person who went by the name of Lee Hampton to explain that this scene was not an example of reparations and could mislead viewers. Oh, really? I asked that they not use it in the film and shared several resources overviewing legitimate systemic efforts for reparations. Well, we could all do our small little part, right? Right, Robin? I mean, I guess we could have systemic reparations, but every little bit helps. He assured me that he understood and that they have not yet decided whether to address reparations. He never again contacted me or answered an email. Later, she said she realized she had been played. Quote, it is not titled Shades of Justice, nor is it meant to support the anti-racist cause. It is a Borat-style mockumentary titled Am I Racist? And designed to humiliate and discredit anti-racist educators and activists. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I think anyone who seriously believes that and who is pushing this as like a serious idea that people should adopt and live their life by, that should be humiliated. I believe the idea should be humiliated. D'Angelo shot to prominence with her New York Selling Times book, White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. Walsh's documentary is set to hit movie theaters on September the 13th and marks the Daily Wire's first flick to release on the big screen. She released a statement denouncing our film. She claimed that the movie is blah, 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 blah. We already read all that stuff. But following this release of the film, a lot of these people that appeared in the film have since deactivated their X accounts. Cater, Slater, R. Beard, Byard Consulting, I don't know who that is. The last one here you might recognize, Robin D'Angelo, deactivated her Twitter account, so that's really good. Good to see. Good work by Matt Walsh. But moving on to the debate, was it rigged? I believe that it was, as far as I believe that Kamala Harris is probably given the questions, but I think the real rigging was the fact checking. The fact that I mentioned this yesterday, they quote unquote fact checked Donald Trump. Really, they, in the strict sense of the word, is not fact checking, but that's what they call it. And they never once fact checked Kamala Harris, even though she had a dumpster load of lies. But there have been some rumors started on X that I think people should treat with caution because they look a little bit dubious. But unconfirmed reports of a whistleblower coming forward with shocking evidence about the ABC moderators are circulating, with the rumor starting from a random X account. And this was shared by a lot of people. It hasn't been corroborated. It just sounds good and then people share it. That's one of the problems with virality. People know something is going to probably go viral if they pick it up first. And these big accounts, some of these big accounts will start tweeting it. It goes viral, right? They make money from that because it sounds really good. I mean, I guess it could be true, but I think when something sounds too good to be true, it usually is. But this rumor started on this account right here called Black Insurrectionist. I follow back True Patriots. Just a random X account. And this is what they tweeted. And this is where this rumor started. I haven't seen any other corroboration of this. No articles, no nothing. Because I will be releasing an affidavit from an ABC whistleblower regarding the debate. I have just signed a non-disclosure agreement with the attorney of the whistleblower. The affidavit states how the Harris campaign was given sample questions, which were essentially the same questions that were given during the debate and separate assurances of fact-checking Donald Trump and fact-checking Donald Trump, and that she would not be fact-checked Accordingly, the affidavit states several other factors that were built into the debate to give Kamala a significant advantage. I have seen and read the affidavit, and after the attorney blacks out the name of the whistleblower and other information that could dox the whistleblower, I will release the full affidavit. I will be releasing the affidavit before the weekend is out. So this was, being shared and all over X. It could be true, but I believe some of these reports should be treated with caution, like I say here. I think a lot of the times we jump on things too quickly. We share it. Some of these big accounts, they share it as fact, when in fact, in this case, it came from one random X account. I hope it's true. I hope there is a whistleblower, because I do believe that the moderators were unfair. I do believe that the moderators were biased in an absurd way. But at the same time, I think we should be careful, specifically on X. But one thing that is true, though, that I know for a fact, former top Clinton advisor calls on ABC to launch internal probe into whether the debate was rigged. Mark Penn, a former top advisor to Bill and Hillary Clinton, called Thursday for ABC to launch a formal internal investigation into its news division's planning and execution of this week's presidential debate to determine if there was some effort at rigging the outcome of this debate. ABC News came under significant bipartisan criticism because its moderators fact-checked some of Donald Trump's statements, but not a single pushback at any made by Kamala Harris. Trump said Thursday that the debate was 3-on-1 and declined to participate in another one before the election. Anchors David Muir and Lindsay Davis, believe it or not, was a sorority sister of Kamala Harris. Facts. But they moderated the first debate between Harris and Trump, which drew 67.1 million viewers, making it the most watched presidential debate since 2008. But it has drawn scorn from both Republicans and Democrats for giving the appearance of bias. But I actually think that they should do a full internal investigation, hire an outside law firm. I don't know how much of this was planned in advance. Penn, this Clinton advisor, told the John Solomon Reports podcast. I don't know what they told the Harris campaign. I think the day after, suspicion here is really quite high. And I think a review of all of their internal texts and emails really should be done by an independent party to find out what exactly they were planning on doing. In effect, fact-checking just one candidate and rigging the outcome of this debate. I think the situation demands nothing less than that. Penn said that Harris has done a good job defining Trump as the incumbent and herself as the change candidate. And even though she's the sitting vice president, but he described the mainstream media's coverage of Harris's campaign as laughable. It is pretty laughable. It's absolutely rigged. I mean, you look at how much money that Harris brought in. Like I said, last month, nearly $500 million. Where do you think that money is going? Yes. buys a lot of favorable coverage, let me tell you that. Also, this was leaked. This is a fake memo. If you have seen this memo is fake. This came from News That Matters. They are a satirical news site. This was shared all over. People freaking out about this. It says, I mean, I think sometimes when you read this stuff, you can just kind of tell just by how ridiculously worded it is, even though very increasingly we're living in a time that you can't tell the difference between fake and fact and fiction. This is what it says. Memo. Leaked ABC debate memo. Trump is white. Kamala is a woman of color. Treat this debate as you would a DEI hire. From management to David Muir, Lindsay Davis, and news staff. It says, management reminds you, we are a significantly sensitive newsroom. We want the moderators and staff to recognize the cultural power dynamics in this debate. Donald Trump is a white male. Kamala Harris is a woman of color. We urge you to treat this debate as you would a DEI hire. Donald Trump should be questioned and fact-checked in real time. Kamala Harris shall be treated as a black female, not Asian American. Keeping the latter in mind, do not bring up the college admission process for Asians versus blacks or any other race. Sincerely, management. P.S. Remember, the only way to fight racism is to be racist. So I think that should be an indication, especially that last part. P.S. Remember, the only way to fight racism is to be racist. Yeah. But be careful out there when sharing stuff, guys. I'm guilty of it. A lot of people are guilty of it. Or I don't want to say guilty of it, but we fall prey to it, you know, because there's a lot of stuff out there. And we live in a time where we just got to post that stuff really quick. At least that's what I do a lot of times, or have done. But Donald Trump has said that there will not be another debate, not be a third debate. And I tweeted this out. And these were my 2 cents. This is what I said, okay? If you guys care about what I said, this is what I said. I have said often that Donald Trump should not do these debates unless he has a say in the terms. To do so legitimizes the corporate press and the dishonest tactics that were on display Thursday. If the Democrats want biased debates, fine. If they want biased debates, I'm perfectly okay with it. But at least give us biased debates as well. If you want a debate where you have 2 moderators fact-checking you on random stuff, or fact-checking Donald Trump on random stuff, and trying to make Kamala Harris look like she is telling the truth about everything, that's fine. But give us that same ability. So I said the only debate that Trump should do is on Fox News with Sean Hannity as a moderator. I mean, I would accept maybe, you know, some other moderators as well. But I'm saying something that's kind of like comparative to ABC. I think Sean Hannity as a moderator on Fox News, that'd be kind of similar. And Sean Hannity can ask Kamala Harris all the tough questions, can push back on Kamala Harris, can fact check Kamala Harris. And he can, you know, ask Trump questions and say everything that Trump says is perfectly okay. Because that's what happened in that ABC debate, but in reverse. So if the Democrats want biased debates, I'm okay with it. But at least be fair. Both sides get a biased debate if you want to play that way. That's what I think, though. Moving on, Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal says a new report into Trump's assassination attempt will leave Americans shocked and astonished and appalled. These comments came after Senate members met with acting Secret Service Director Ronald Rowe for a closed-door meeting. This is what he said when he came out of this closed-door meeting. Listen.
I think the American people are going to be shocked, astonished, and appalled by what we will report to them about the failures by the Secret Service in this assassination attempt on the former president. But I think they also ought to be appalled and astonished by the failure of the Department of Homeland Security to be more forthcoming, to be as candid and frank as it should be to them in terms of providing information. And we are going to absolutely insist on the truth and the whole truth in documents and testimony as members of the United States Senate, but also as citizens.
What did you learn new today when you said they're going to be appalled? What
I'm not going to go into what we have learned in specifics. I'm giving you my reaction, and we will have a report very, very soon that I think will absolutely shock the American people, or it should, about the lapses and lags in the protection that was afforded that day. I think the American...
So, I will be shocked and appalled when I hear them describe this situation as anything other than a failure. Or not, I might not be appalled. I'll be shocked. But not until then, okay? Because, I mean, this is going to continually be the narrative coming out from the Senate, from these investigations. It was simply a failure. Oh, their failures were so bad. And then they find more ways to describe just how bad their failures are until we're satisfied that, oh, wow, these were just incredible, wild security failures. Maybe they were. But I don't know. At some point, these failures, when you have an elite organization whose whole job it is to protect people like Donald Trump, and they fail to that level, when does it not become a failure anymore? When does it become a serious investigation to, was this done intentionally? So I will not be shocked until they say this was something other than a failure. But they are really trying to get people to be satisfied with the language that they are using. But maybe I will be surprised. I guess we'll see. That's going to be coming out, I'm sure, sometime soon. And I'll be talking about it, most likely. And we'll see if we are, in fact, shocked and appalled. We'll probably be appalled. I don't know about shocked. Moving on to Mike Lindell, guys. Yes, Mike Lindell needs our help now more than any. He's being sued for nearly $1 million. So make sure you go to MyPillow.com. Use promo code UNWOKE. Buy some pillows. Buy some coffee. He has some awesome slippers, guys. It's like walking on a cloud when you put on these slippers. They are really nice. I'm not lying. They actually are legit. They're like slipper/moccasin things. They're high quality, good stuff. Go buy some MyPillow stuff. Their pillows, $15 right now, using my promo code UNWOKE. So go check that out. But he is being sued by DHL. They are a logistics and shipping company. And they are alleging that Mike Lindell owes them nearly $1 million. Let's take a look at this. Get rid of this. It's kind of in the way here. There we go. Package delivery company DHL is suing MyPillow, alleging the company's synonymous with its founder, Chief Pitchman, an election denier. You see what they have to... Guys, this is 1984 stuff. It's always got... This is about a company, a package delivery company that is suing Mike Lindell. What does this have anything to do with Mike Lindell's involvement in the election? You see what I mean? This terminology, this language has to be injected into everything. It's insane. 1984 type stuff. They are literally trying to rewrite history in their own words. And they do it by injecting. This is just a tiny, tiny tidbit of what they do. They do it by putting this type of stuff into just random articles about random people, like Mike Lindell. This has nothing to do with anything about the election, but they describe him as a chief pitchman and election denier. But it says that he owes nearly $800,000 for unpaid bills. This lawsuit is the latest legal dispute to emerge against MyPillow and Lindell, a prominent supporter of Trump who has helped amplify the former president's, here's another one, false claims that the 2020 election was stolen from him. In the lawsuit, Alleges that MyPillow is in violation of a contract that requires the company to pay for all parcel services within 15 days of being billed. The lawsuit says they reached a settlement in May 2023 that required MyPillow to pay $775 in 24 monthly installments, blah, blah, blah. The lawsuit alleges that MyPillow has made only partial payments on that settlement, totaling $64,000, and they are upset over that. So, good luck to Mike Lindell. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's got good lawyers, too. Moving on really quickly. Just got a couple more things to talk about, then we'll get to the chat. Donald Trump is launching his own crypto coin. Yes. And he's going to be talking about this on an X Space coming up sometime soon. Listen.
Join me live on Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. this September 16th for the launch of World Liberty Financial. We're embracing the future with crypto and leaving the slow and outdated big banks behind.
So, big news. Guess we'll see what that's about. I don't really have any other news on that. I just have that clip that was posted on Trump's X account. So we'll cover that when we have more information. Moving on, Karine Jean-Pierre says that Trump's comments about Haitians eating cats is hate speech. Oh, okay. Well, listen.
The Springfield, Ohio Police Department has debunked this very bizarre and very hateful smear that's out there. It is what is happening here is an attempt to tear apart communities and disrespect.
No, that already happened when your administration, the Biden-Harris administration, shoved 20,000 immigrants from not a third world country, a fourth world country, into a first world country town of 58,106. That is the official number as far as nearest data that I've seen, the closest data, most recent data, I should say. That is what tears apart communities, okay? But no, you are the problem. If you have a problem with that as a taxpayer, as someone that's been, as an American, you're an American. If you have a problem with that, you're bad. You're a bad person. You know, you, the taxpayer, you are second-class citizens now. These immigrants, they get government-subsidized housing. They get government-subsidized everything. But you, as an American who's been in America your whole life, then your family, your parents and your grandparents, your great-grandparents, maybe you've been, for generations, multiple generations Americans. Nah. What's important is these immigrants coming over the border. They'll work for less than you. They'll get paid less than you, and they'll appreciate it. But how dare you, as a tax-paying citizen, how dare you believe that your country should be better? How dare you believe that you should be getting paid more money? How dare you? How dare you want your infrastructure to actually look presentable? No, what they'll do is they'll just bring in all these illegal immigrants who will just not complain. They'll work for really, really cheap, and they won't complain. And you have to deal with the culture shock. You have to deal with all the differences between yourself and this person that comes from halfway across the world that you have no idea how to interact with, that you have nothing in common with. It's crazy. So, Donald Trump, though, he's been slinging out those cat memes on True Social. I love this. I absolutely love this. He posted this. Kamala hates me. Look at that. Cat looks very angry. Kamala hates me. Let me go to his actual Twitter account. He's been posting a lot of these lately, and I love them. I might have to scroll down a little bit. Bear with me. See if I can find them. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Where are they at? Where did they go? Oh, there we go. Here they are. Kamala hates me. Don't let them eat us. Vote for Trump. And then protect our ducks and kittens in Ohio. This was tweeted out by the House Judiciary GOP. Look at that. Donald Trump is truly a genius when it comes to the internet. This is really internet gold right here. Trump knows how to go viral. And oh yeah, here's some more. Cats for Trump. Donald Trump giving a rally in front of a lot of cats. So if you love your cat, if you love your dog, vote for Donald Trump. It's very important. And Trump running, saving a cat from the Haitians in Springfield, Ohio is very important. I think he had some more that I saw. Let's see. I gotta go down like several days. Donald Trump truths a lot, so let's see if I can find him. He had some cats that were carrying. Oh, here we go. Here are more cats here. Riding with him on Trump Force One. Cats in MAGA hats and AR-15s, it looks like. So, love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. All right, last one, guys. This is crazy. I saw this video online. This is the first time I've seen it. Sometimes I show videos on here. It's the first time I've seen it. Then I get people commenting that, oh, that video's from like 3 years ago. Well, okay. I thought it was cool and I wanted to show my audience. Okay. An 18-wheeler carrying a military tank gets stuck on the tracks and gets hit by a train. Check this out.
Shit. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. All right, guys. How are you guys doing? How's everyone doing in the chat? All right, is this another? Oh, here we go. Look at this. I guess the train is okay. Oh, no. That was just another angle. I didn't watch that far. That's wild. Yeah. All right, but how are you guys doing? We got Christy in the chat. How's it going, Christy? We got Trium Infinitum in the chat. Michelle C. How's it going, Michelle? Thank you for modding. We've got... Who else? Who else we got hanging out in here? But yeah. Bill Phillips. How's it going, Bill? Good morning, Unwoke Thoughts. Hey, good morning, Bill. Thanks for watching. Queen Bee. She's in the chat. Doing some modding. Thank you. Southern Sass. Good morning, Queen Bee. Yeah, guys, if check in your town, see if Am I Racist is playing. I want Matt Walsh to get some good numbers. It's not playing in my town, but it is playing in a town that's like an hour away. So, unfortunately, I wish it was closer. I would go watch it. But that stuff just blows my mind, how these people think. And I've dealt with it personally. It's crazy. We need peace in the chat. It says, well, we will all be paying for that tank. Yeah, I wonder what happens in that situation. Well, I'm sure the train's insurance company, but it's not the train's fault. So yeah, I guess it would be the taxpayers. But does the government have insurance? I don't know. How does that work? Does the government have insurance? I don't know. Hey, we got Jeremy Byers, because I'm here just watching. Hey, how's it going, Jeremy? We got Tijuana Border Jumper hanging out. How's it going, Tijuana? But all right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out this morning. Make sure leave a like on this video before we get off of here. And if you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And if you'd like to support the show, got my donation links, my links down below in the description. But thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning on the next one. Have a good day. God bless.